What's up, vapors? Nick here for Spin Fuel's Daily Vape TV. I got some vape mail to show you today. I got the Arctic tank by Horizon Tech and the E-Leaf Lemo 2. So these beautiful tanks are coming courtesy of Abe40.com. They are an online wholesaler, so if you're a shop owner or an online store owner, make sure you check out the link in my description. They've been a long-time video partner of Spin Fuel, and I just wanted to give you guys a huge shout out. Thank you so much for allowing me to do these videos for you. Anyways, we'll get into the unboxing in just a second. I just wanted to kind of give my overview of these products. I've heard a lot of buzz about them, the Lemo 2 especially. I've never actually used the Lemo version 1, so this is going to be my first E-Leaf Lemo experience. I've heard a lot about them. I sell them at my shop, so I do know the whole mechanics of the things, and you know, I know kind of how they look and how they are and how they work on devices, so I have a base knowledge of that. But I'm really looking forward to getting into something other than the Atlantis tank, which is what I've been using for the past few weeks. Also, the Arctic tank is really intriguing to me. It's one of those ones that's like a, you know, rare like white tiger or something like that, where you only get to see them every now and then. Really looking forward to getting into this one, considering it's a 0.2 ohm dual bottom turbine coil, which is something I've never even heard of before. So that should be really interesting. I will be doing a follow-up video after I do my full review of these two tanks on what's exactly inside these Arctic coils and, you know, if you can rebuild them and whatnot. So make sure you stay tuned for that as well. Let's go right down into the unboxing portion of this video. I'm going to do a quick unboxing, and then I'm going to fill up the tanks, and then I'm going to come back and vape them. So stay with us. I'll be back in a sec.
How's it going, guys? I'm Will with Vape Event and BRV, just checking in from VCC Tampa at our booth, having fun, vaping, vape for a cause.
Alright guys, welcome back. Here we have our two brand new tanks. We have the Lemo 2 and the Arctic. We're going to unbox them for you guys right now. First up, we're going to do the Arctic. As you can see on this little band here, we have a 0.2 ohm and 0.5 ohm coil, and they're both bottom turbine dual coils, so that should be interesting. You can get different packages with different coils in them, obviously. On the top you have 0.2, 0.5, and 1.2 ohm coils, as well as the 0.2 and 0.5 ohm dual coils. So there you go. Pretty plain packaging. I'm just going to go ahead and remove this band here. And as you can see, little sticker says organic cotton, so you know it's good quality stuff. And also, from what I hear, the coils are made with USA made Kanthal, so there you go. We're going to take that off. Inside the package we have our tank, and this has quad airflow, so plenty of airflow for you airflow junkies, you lung inhalers out there. And here's our extra coil. And this one is a 0.5 ohm coil, and there's the wicking on this thing. There's tons of wicking space there, so definitely going to be able to keep up at the higher wattages. And I think that's pretty much it as far as this one's concerned. I don't think there's anything else in the package. No, that's it. So what you see is what you get with this one. Let's go ahead and put this packaging aside, and we'll unbox the Lemo 2. Boom. Alright, there we go. Lemo 2. So right off the bat we have our tank. Really nice looking tank, just like the Lemo 1 and the Mellow tank. Pretty simple. Nice wide bore drip tip there. Hopefully you guys can see that a little bit. Kinda. Anyways, we'll get a better view in the full review. Yeah, so that's just on the top. Let's go ahead and see what's underneath. Lemo 2, little instruction manual. we'll go over that in the full review as well. You have all your different building pieces here, little screwdriver, some O-rings, bunch of O-rings, a couple extra screws, organic cotton, and some Kanthal on the bottom. So there you go. Let's see what's under the hood. I'm kind of curious myself. There we go. Glass piece just comes out just like that. And there we go. And there's your pre-built coil in there. Let me give you a quick close-up of that. And it's a pretty nice coil compared to some of the other coils that you get with these tanks. Nice big air hole in the bottom there. Hopefully you can see that a little bit. And this is definitely a nice looking tank here. Big time improvement over the version 1 from what I've seen already. I'm gonna just put it back together. And it does have a top fill hole, so you don't have to take the whole thing apart to fill it, which is kind of nice. Back off the camera. So that's what this hole at the top is right there. Just got to figure it out. There we go. So you can just close it off when you're done filling. And when you want to open it up, just turn it the other way. There you go. That's it. Alright, so I'm going to put some liquid in these two tanks, and we're going to fire them both up. How about that, alright? So we'll be right back. Alright, so I've got both tanks all filled up, and today I'm going to be using Max VG liquid from Moon Mountain. I've got Captain Comet in the Arctic, and I have Aurora 4 in the Lemo 2. So I'm going to go ahead and put them on my mods, and we'll just go back to the main screen and have a quick vape. Alright, we are back, and we just unboxed the Lemo version 2 and the Arctic tank. Filled them all up. I have them on my devices right now. We're going to fire them up and see how they vape. So I have my Lemo version 2 on the IPV Mini 2. And right now we're going at 30 watts, and the coil's reading right at 0.5, and it's running at 3.9 volts. So I'm going to have a quick vape on this one. My first initial thoughts on this one is the incredible amount of airflow, considering this is kind of like a K-Fun style chamber and rebuildable coil and everything. The airflow is really just great on this thing. As you can see, it has that nice wide Cyclops eye there and another one on the other side. So it has dual airflow, which is also, you can close it off a little bit if you wanted to, but I like mine nice and wide open, and that's how I'm going to be vaping it. The drip tip is a nice wide bore tip. I'm not really one for metal tips, so I'm probably going to be using my own tips in the near future, but the tip itself is really nice. It has a nice O-ring in there. It's not going to fall out. It's actually 2 O-rings, and it's really kind of tricky to get back in, but there you go. It's not going to loosen up on you at all. I love the top fill tank thing right here. That is just makes my life a whole lot easier. One of the reasons I don't really tend to use K-Funs all that often is because of the way you have to fill them up and everything. Just kind of a pain in the butt for me, but so far I'm really enjoying this tank. I'm going to take one more rip and use the Arctic. And one final thing I did want to mention real quick before I switch over to the Arctic tank is this thing, as far as wicking is concerned, I'm using Max VG e-liquid in here, and it's keeping up quite nicely. So I'm really kind of surprised at that, but at the same time I'm pleasantly surprised. So there you go. That's the Lemo version 2. And now we're going to move on to the Arctic tank. I've got the Arctic tank on the Sigelei 100 watt. And it's 0.2 ohm coil. I'm going at 60 watts, 3.7 volts, and I'm going to crank it up a little bit after I take my first initial rip. So let's go ahead and give it a go. Alright, so right there I had it at 60 watts. I'm going to go ahead and crank it up to 75, and according to the website, the optimal range is 30 to 100 or 30 to 80 watts on this thing, but it can go up to 100 watts and keep up with the wicking. So I'm definitely going to test that theory in my final review of this thing, but let's go ahead and try this out at 75 watts. Yeah, I'm really not getting any dry hit, so that's a really good thing, and the airflow definitely, makes a big difference. Quad airflow on this one as opposed to the dual airflow on the Lemo version 2, and single airflow like the Atlantis, so plenty of airflow with this one. It definitely doesn't leave you wanting anymore. One thing right off the bat that kind of irks me is the lack of any sort of control over the exact position of the airflow, so you can't lock it into place like you can with the Atlantis. And it just kind of spins freely, so if you do knock this thing around a little bit, it might close off your airflow and you might get a dry hit that way. So just be careful if you pick one of these things up. Wicking wise, it's definitely keeping up nicely. Again, max VG e-liquid in this one as well. Flavor wise, gives me great flavor off of it. No surprise there. And as far as the drip tip's concerned, nice wide bore tip, just like the Lemo 2, just like the Atlantis as well. Again, I'm not really one for metal tips, but this one is quite comfortable. I do like the fact that they supply them with a nice wide bore tip. You know what, just for the heck of it, I'm bringing it up to 100 watts. We're going to see how it vapes at 100 watts, just for a final, final test on this one. So the quantity of vapor is definitely a noticeable difference between 60 and 100 watts. It does keep up nicely with the wicking. Not getting a dry hit out of it, which is awesome. But the only thing that kind of bugs me is the warmth of the vapor. It gets a little bit warm at 100 watts, so I'm probably going to keep this thing around 75. Alright, that's enough for this preview video. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to check out www.spinfuel.com for lots more of my videos, as well as Smoke and Joey and Spinfuel official videos. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe, and as always, vape on.